Here we go.
Good afternoon, YouTube. Man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bobby Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, I just finished up my video for the Rising Phoenix, and it's the biggest show for Olympic qualification for women's bodybuilding. It's also the Rising Phoenix weekend, which you also have the Arizona Pro, which is all the other divisions. As you know, shout out to Jake Wood. He created a show, and then he created this show too for competitors in physique, women's bodybuilding, figure, wellness, and fitness. Only one that's not on this list is Fit Model. Pooey! Thank you, Jake. Fit Model has no place. It's, keep it with the basics for right now. Eventually he's going to add it on, he can't help, it's a business plan, whatever. But as you know, it's also the weekend. It's also the Miss International, which is the NPC Pro qualifier for women's bodybuilding. But the Arizona Pro, it's been a while, quite some time. Anytime I do interview laces, I've done the Rising Phoenix. No, if you're doing figure, physique, any other divisions, you're doing the Arizona Pro. The Rising Phoenix is women's bodybuilding. Now, it's the Rising Phoenix weekend, but your show is the Arizona Pro. I like to stick that to them. But anyway, the list came out. It is, especially for women's physique, this is a deep list. I mean, as you know, this is the very last Olympia qualification for WPD. There are at least, I think there's also a show for a figure that's in Austria. I'm not talking about that show because I don't know our competitors, and plus there's no pay-per-view for it, so what's worth watching it. And also we do have the Alina Popa Classic coming up, and that's going to be next Saturday. Next Sunday. Next Sunday, because Sunday. And we have the other divisions. They still have some shows for might get on last minute qualification. So, as you know, this is the list for WPD. It's thick. It's that list. I mean, you got at least over 20, just about 20 women at the most at this show. I mean, everybody wants to jump on to get that last WPD qualification for the expiration date, which is going to be the 30th, and that is that Sunday. This coming next weekend. So, folks, we have the list. The first one you have here is Cara Barnes. As you know, Cara's been a guest on my channel. As you know, she turned pro, a little bit around about 2024. And this is finally making her pro debut here. She earned a pro card at Master USA's and interviewed a while back. She's from Arizona. She's doing it because this is in the backyard of Arizona. She's a great lady, been in the game for quite some time, and now she wants to be an active competitor. So wish her best of luck, and maybe we might see her do another show after this one because there's still some shows that are going to be for next year's Olympic qualification. Next up we have is the lovely Miss Jamie Buffarella. As you know, I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name. I interviewed Jamie also, and Jamie served our country, United States Marine Corps. Anybody who serves our country, I want to say thank you for your service. As a citizen, I appreciate the sacrifice you have made for this country on behalf of us. As you know, she's also works in security. Just saw her do an interview a while back with my man Kay at Wonderwork, and she made an announcement she was doing this show for her pro debut. She also turned pro back in 2024 at the North American. So as you know, I'm going to Pittsburgh in another week or so. It's a great opportunity for me to be there, and I wish her best of luck. Next up we have is Sarah Krill. Sarah is all from Australia. She's been a pro for a good 5 years or more, and she got her first Olympic qualification here in Arizona last year at the Arizona Pro. She's coming in as the reigning champion. Next up we have is the lovely Mrs. Brittany Diamond. As you know, it wasn't that long ago, just barely 2 months. She got a pro card at the USA Championships in WPD. She had a couple of misses here and there, like nationals. Also, she did the amateur Olympia, and that was another loss. But then she finally got her pro card at the USA's in Las Vegas. She did both women's bodybuilding and women's physique, but got a pro card in women's physique. Next up is the lovely Mrs. Christine Driscoll, and this is going to be her fourth short year. She's been busy. As you know, earlier this year, she competed at the Triple O Dynasty. As you know, that's her. She's from Arizona also. That's in her backyard. She did women's bodybuilding in the Masters and the Open. Then she did the Tampa Bay Pro. Also, she was at Atlanta, and also she did the Max Fit. And, again, she's just a busy lady. I mean, she wants to be active. Shout out to Christina. Next up we have is Luciana Esquelan. And we haven't seen her in quite some time. I think she has been active since 2025 where she competed at the the Tupelo Pro. She's also served our country in the United States Navy. So anybody who has served our country, I said, again, I appreciate sacrificing me as a citizen. And she's also a coach and trainer. She's in my home state of North Carolina. She actually lives in Fayetteville, which is a good ways from where I stay. I got family up that way. And that's where I'll be going for next week for, before my trip to Pittsburgh. So shout out to her. Next up we have is the lovely Mrs. Alex Hall. She actually won this show back in 2023, competed in 2024. We hadn't seen her since then, but she made her return I would say just a few weeks ago at the Tampa Bay Pro. Personally, been a fan of hers. I mean, I hope she does well. Next up we have is making her pro debut, Kaylin Heisler. And Mrs. Heisler, young Miss Heisler, she got her pro card back in the 24 Chicago Pro at the Miss International. And as you know, when you win Miss International, you get to do your pro debut at the Rising Phoenix. But she decided to step away from that and to train and focus on making her pro debut. So she was impressive. She followed me on social media. I hope maybe in the future I get her set for an interview. Next up we have is Nadia Harris, and she's originally from South America, but now she lives in the United States. Next up we have is Yin Hong, and she is from Taiwan, China. And this is going to be her second show as a pro. She last competed at the Vancouver Island show. Next up we have is the lovely Miss Janetta Johansson. And she's coming in as probably one of the top contenders. You know, she did the Texas Pro just about a week ago, last weekend. She was in the top 3 at this show, meaning that she's coming in possibly maybe getting this title. You know, she's been qualified before. Last time she got a qualification at the Tupelo, that was back in 2024. Next up we have is Kim. Her name is very long, I think it's Clevicious. I'm going to say Kim K. Let's live like that. And this is going to be her pro debut. Next up we have is Nicole LaRue. Nicole, she's been competing for quite some time, and this is going to be her, I believe, her 3rd year as a pro. And she competed at the Arizona Pro last year. Next up we have is Gabriela Lehoftova from Czech Republic. You know, Gabriela just no more than a few months ago was doing figure. After her last placing at the Optima, switched to women's physique, did the Toronto, got second to Margarita Jones, did the Imperial, was in the top 10 that show. She also was at the Atlanta show, and I think she rounded up and finished up at the Texas Pro. So she's trying to get another shot to the Olympia. As you know, she's been Olympia qualified in figure, but now trying doing women's physique. But I think some things she needs to work on, and if she makes those adjustments, I think she can do a lot better. Next up we have is Alexis Lowry, who just competed also last weekend at the Texas Pro. Next up we have Brooke Piggin from Canada. She's been at the show quite a bit. She's done both Texas and the Arizona Pro in the past, and now she's back at the Arizona again. Next up we have the ladies' bit of guests here on my channel, the lovely Mrs. Blanca Rodriguez. As you know, Blanca, she's been in the game for quite some time, originally from Florida, but she moved to Las Vegas, which is coach and trainer. And she's competed at the show last year. We were talking back and forth because, she felt like, how the women physique difference are changing. She was doing both the Open and the Masters that year. This year, the Arizona Pro is not doing Masters anymore. It's exclusively Open. Next up, we have is the lovely Mrs. Carrie Sims. This is going to be her pro debut. Next up, we have is Mariana Van Gecke. And she is from Chile. And also she's a lawyer, a mother of an autistic child. As you know, I interviewed her some time ago. This is going to be her second show of the year. She was in the top 10 at the Texas Pro, and she got a qualification at the Olympia back at the 2024 Vancouver Island show. It was only 3 competitors, and she was the one to get that qualification. Shout out to Mariana. She most definitely wants to go back to Olympia one more time if she can. And last but not least, I would say least, is Winsome White. And Winsome, she has been in the game quite some time. She did New York Pro earlier this year. Also, she was Ultima Classics, which was top 3. And she now is qualified for the Masters Olympia, where she got a qualification at the Mass Fit, which was also last weekend. So let's say best of luck to her. And here's the list for figure. And you would think figure, usually have a different lineup, and especially this is the last qualification for the Olympia for the division. Quite a few ladies here, and some ladies who've been active. Some ladies just finished up doing the Texas Pro. Some also did Tampa Bay and some shows early in the season. First up, we have the lovely Mrs. Sanice Abrams. And she's been again quite some time. She's been a two-time Olympian, and she's been active this year. This is going to be her second show since the last time she competed. Next up, we have is Maria Diaz, and she was active. I believe she also was at the Tampa Bay Pro. She's been game for quite some time, and also she is herself a multi-time Olympian. Next up, we have is Dominique Berridge, and Miss Berridge just got her Master Load qualification of about a couple of months ago. She also competed in Max Fit and also was at Tampa Bay and a couple other shows. So this is going to be her, I think, her fourth or fifth show of the year. So wish her best of luck. Next up, we have is Zarifa Bayref. So we'll say Miss ZB. I'm not sorry. I got the name on the top of my tongue, but I just keep messing up. And she's from Kazakhstan. And this is going to be her fifth or sixth show. She was at both the Tampa, she was at Atlanta, she did Texas, a couple other shows of active ladies. So let's wish her the best in this show. Next up is one Miss Christina Dokwiku, another lady from Russia, whose name I'm not going to mess up too much. So we say Christina B. And she won this show last year. And she's also an Olympian coming in here looking to defend her title. She is defending title at this circle. Next up we have is the lovely Mrs. Nicole DeMarco. And she competed just a while ago at the Tampa Bay Pro. Next up we have is Megan Fletcher. And this is going to be a pro debut. She actually got her pro card at the North America. As I said, I'm going to be Pittsburgh in another week or so. Next up we have is the lovely Miss Erica Garcia, if I got her name wrong, I apologize, from Mexico. Active competitor. She's also a Masters Olympian, and she's been busy. She's in Chicago. She did a couple other shows this year. So let's wish her all the best. Next up we have is Jessica Karlik. If I got her name wrong, I apologize. This is going to be her pro debut. And it's been a couple of years since she turned pro. I believe that was back 3 years ago at the Nationals. So this is going to be her first show as IB Pro at the Arizona Pro. Next up, we have one Miss Elizabeth Nadir, and this is going to be her, I think, her second or third show of the year. She's also a multi-time Olympian. Impressive lady, impressive physique. Next up, we have is Brittany Offers from Canada. As you know, I'm a big fan of female bodybuilders from Canada. So this will be her first show. I think we hadn't seen her doing too much this year, so this will be her first show. And this is this is the last Olympic qualification for figure before the deadline for the Olympia. Next up is Adela Alejandrikova. When I saw on the list, we did a live on Monday. I was like, why? Call it quits. I mean, this is going to be her 10th show, I believe, because she did at least, she was top 3 in both the Triple O Dynasty, the Battle of the Bodies. She was also in Georgia. She did Body B1. She was at Toronto. She did Puerto Rico Pro. She did a couple of shows South America. And she also was at Texas. I think it's time to call it quits. I know she's been a multi-time Olympian, ever since she's been a pro. But I think it's time to stop chasing for that Olympic qualification. I think it's time to take a step back, take some break. Whatever, I follow her lady. She follows me on social media. I think she has a great physique, but something the judges are seeing is not awarding her Olympic qualification. I would say take a break next year. Sit out. Come back the year after next and see how you do. I mean, I'm wondering who's paying for all this, because it's expensive. You got to come to America is expensive. I live here. So, let's wish her the best of luck, whatever luck she has. Next up we have is Caitlin O'Neill, and she competed the show last year. Next up we have is Cherish Richardson, who is likely the person that is looking for to get her Olympic qualification here. Cherish herself is a multi-time Olympic qualified athlete. She also serves her home state of Georgia as a firefighter, so I thank you for her service. As you know, she was second to Nicole Zenobia Graham at the Atlanta Pro. Impressive physique, impressive lady. I hope she does well. I feel like she's the one that's most definitely likely is going to win this title. Most definitely. Next up we have is Paige Wartz. And this is going to be her, I think, her third show of the year. She was at Chicago, and also she's at Tampa. Next up, we have is Oksana Yuono. If I got a name wrong, Yukono. She's originally from Russia, but she lives here in the States. This is going to be her, I think, her third or fourth show. I know she did Chicago, she did Tampa, and I believe she did another show, early in the season. So let's wish her best of luck. Next up we have is Yagdeva Z Nuri. Let's call her YZ. I'm sorry, I hate to mess up these names. Miss YZ. And she's also been in the game quite some time, and she's looking for an opportunity to get to Olympia. And again, this is the last Olympia qualification for the figure division, so let's wish her best of luck. And she's originally from Russia. Now, this is the list for fitness. And, this is, again, one of the only shows for qualification for fitness. There have some ladies who have a few numbers here and there. Fitness usually has small numbers because not as many competitors. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time. You think maybe a couple more competitors jump on the show, but again, the cost of travel, whatever else goes involved with it. But it's a good lineup. We have a couple ladies here who have been both Olympians and Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic competitors. Arnold still has the fitness division at his show. First, we have the lovely Mrs. Danielle, Chickles, and this is going to be her, I believe, her fourth show of the year. She did both the Arnold and the Arnold UK, and she was at Chicago, and now she's doing this show. We have the lovely young Miss Danielle DaCosta, and Miss DaCosta is from Canada, and she's a natural competitor. She was at the Ben Weider show last year, which is the Ben Weider Pro-Am natural show. And now she's trying to look for her opportunity to get to Olympia. Next up, we have is Navia Ford, who just got her pro card last year and made a pro debut at the Legion Sports Festival, which Legion Sports Festival still has fitness, but does not have figure or physique. That's kind of funny. It's kind of like with the Arnold Classic. But, and again, wish her best of luck. Next up, the lady who's been a guest on my channel, the lovely Mrs. Stephanie Jones. And Miss Jones has been active. She done, the Toronto Super Show, another show. She was close to get a qualification in Toronto, but, didn't happen for her there. But now she's won the show before in the past. I remember one year she made the switch to wellness, but then went back to fitness and got a qualification at the 2024 Arizona Pro. So let's wish Stephanie all the best of luck. Now we have the lovely Miss Jenny Taldo, and she's been a multiple-time Olympian and Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic competitor. She did both the Arnold UK and the Arnold Classic, and this is going to be her third show for the season. And last we have the lovely Miss Jenny Worth, and Mrs. Worth just made an announcement. This was an opportunity for her to do the show because I saw her. She did a post. She talked about it. She also, you go to her IG, there's a link if you want to go check out the show. She's been in the game for quite some time. She's been a multi-time Olympian, Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic champion. One of the ladies who's been in the game for a long time, especially in fitness. And fitness is a tough division, and still doing it at her age and holding her weight against some of these young competitors. Her and a couple of ladies are still doing it. I would say over the 40 range. So let's wish the best of luck to Jenny Worth, and maybe she might get this qualification again. She's also a Masters Olympian champion. She won the title last year, which got her qualification for last year's Olympia. So anyway, this is the list of the shows and how they work out. You have going to have the starting off with the amateurs first. Then later that morning is going to be the pros. Then they would do the prejudges around about 4 o'clock, which is going to be Pacific time, which is going to be for me here in the South. It's going to be like around 7. I wasn't going to do it, but I said again, I did buy both the live streams because there's 2 live streams. You get buy the pay-per-view, the prejudging and also the finals. So I want to check it out. I know, like I said, I try to save a few bucks for my trip, but again, the Rising Phoenix only comes once a year. I want to support these ladies. The Arizona Pro is a great show for competitors. I want to support those ladies in those divisions too. I'm a fan. But if you want to watch it, I will leave the link like the other video in the description. If you're a fan of fitness, physique, even divisions like wellness and bikini, check it out. Shout out these ladies. This is an all ladies show. No banana hammocks, no board shorts. Even from the NPC all the way to the IFB. And also the judge panel is just ladies. I said in the other video, Sandy Williamson is the head judge of an all-ladies judging panel. So let's see how this outcome of the show. Check it out. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to support it. I'm going to shout out to these ladies who's competing this weekend, especially ladies who've been guests on my channel. And with the man always George Page, a.k.a. the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't like, subscribe. I'm out.